Hello and welcome to the College Investor Audio Show. A little bit of a somber story today. The new middle class squeeze. Why $100K kind of feels broke nowadays. Before we get to it, let's go ahead and remind you that anytime you hear a podcast, you can always find the article associated with it at thecollegeinvestor.com. Dive deep into anything we talk about. Plus, you can ask us and follow us and like us and all that stuff on social media. Just search for The College Investor and you'll find us. Okay, let's get to this now. For decades, earning six figures was like the turning point between just getting by and now you're getting ahead, baby. But today, a lot of Americans are actually discovering that $100,000 or even, dare I say, $200,000 no longer feels like a whole lot of security going on. Between rising living costs, disappearing tax credits, health insurance subsidy cliffs, and inflation that, just kind of lingers on and on, a whole lot of millennial and Gen Z households earning well above the median are kind of wondering, where'd all my money go? When you combine the math of what these families actually take home with some other stats, like dropping homeownership and lowering savings rates, the picture becomes clear. Outdated tax policies and benefit cliffs, combined with higher costs of living, are kinda holding families back. The $100K a year illusion. Take a dual income couple in Austin, earning $120,000. Okay, on paper they're doing really well. Solid salaries, whole bunch of benefits, nice rental, and a safe neighborhood. But after taxes, childcare, health insurance, groceries, rent, they got like nothing left to save. And that's not even an outlier. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, the median household income sits right around $83,000, yet a whole bunch of families earning 25 to 75% more are barely even more comfortable than that. Key drivers. Average rent for just like a modest 3-bedroom in a whole lot of metros now tops $3K per month. Childcare costs in most cities between $1,000 and $1,500 per child per month. Health insurance premiums for a family plan easily, and I mean easily, I've shopped around, exceed $1,000 per month. Mine, I got a quote for like $2,500 or something. I don't know. I got to get cheap insurance. It's nuts. Inflation may have cooled statistically, but it has not reversed. The things families actually buy, like food, housing, education, insurance, remain significantly more expensive than pre-2020. We all know this. So here's how a tax deduction, I'm dedicated to taxes. Here's how a tax deduction and benefit cliff actually punishes all this middle class. The American tax and benefit system was not designed to punish people for earning more. But it does, okay? Especially since so many in Washington hold on to an outdated view that somehow, some way, $100,000 is an inflection point of wealth. Families in the $100 to $200K range often lose access to a whole bunch of credits and subsidies designed to support working households. It's a series of invisible benefit cliffs, right? That just erase the gains from all the promotions and the side income that you've been earning and working so hard to do. The more and harder you work, the worse it is for you now. It sucks, right? When you combine that with the myriad of marriage penalties now, you can see why Americans just can't afford to get married, have kids, and buy a house. The whole American dream thing. Here's what that looks like in today's world. ACA subsidy cliff. So once a family's income crosses like the 400% of the federal poverty level, their health insurance subsidy is done. Disappears. A couple with 2 kids might see their premiums jump $6,000 to $9,000 per year. Wow. And that's just for earning a few thousand more. Our family of 4 pays nearly $1,800 a month for health insurance on the ACA exchange. Dependent care credit, designed to offset childcare costs, which have risen significantly over the past 10 years. It drops rapidly from 35 to 20% at just $43,000 in income. Who can live on that? Student loan interest deduction phases out at $200,000 for joint filers. But the tiny amount that's deductible, $2,500, might not be close to what borrowers are paying anyway. Child tax credit. This one doesn't phase out until higher incomes like $400,000 for joint filers. It's smaller, though, than the pre-2021 pandemic levels, and inflation has completely eroded its impact. These cliffs mean that a household earning $130K might end up with a nearly identical disposable income to one earning $40,000 less after taxes and all the lost credits. Taxes bit harder in the 100 to 200K range. A six-figure salary sounds huge until you break down what's left after federal, state, and payroll taxes. For a typical dual-income household earning $150K, federal income tax like $18,500 worth, payroll taxes, Social Security, Medicare, all the social programs, about $11,500. Just for those two, by the way. State income tax, anywhere from 0%, thank you Texas and Florida, to 9+% in California and New York, and then everything in between. Property taxes, sales tax, local fees, easily another few $1,000. Even without a high state income tax, this family is losing 25 to 30% of their gross income before they pay a single bill or go out to a single restaurant. Cost of living increases outpace paycheck growth. It's amazing. Even as wages have gone up, costs have gone up faster. Between 2019 and 2025, rent prices are up roughly 30 to 40% in a lot of metros. Childcare up 20-25. Groceries up 25 to 30% depending on where you live. Health insurance premiums up 35% since 2019, according to KFF. Real purchasing power has fallen for most middle-income earners. I know, I've seen it. Raises have helped a little bit, but not enough to offset compounding costs. The result is a new kind of economic frustration. Working families who appear well off on paper, but feel like they're constantly one big expense away from financial stress. Putting it all together, let's take a look at the real math here. We're going to make this concrete. Meet Taylor and Jordan, both 35, with two kids, ages 4 and 7, living in Austin, Texas. They rent a modest 3-bedroom home and buy their own health insurance through the ACA marketplace. Cha-ching! Let's compare what making $150K per year looks like versus $90,000 per year. These expenses are annualized spending. Now, when you do all the things, you look at the gross income. Now, this is a couple earning $60K more. They pay $15,000 more in taxes. They pay almost $10,000 more in health insurance. Their rent's the same. Their child care is $4,000 more. Their groceries are $3,000 more because they don't qualify for SNAP, EBT, or any WIC benefits. They pay almost double what they would an average $90K income household. Almost double in their student loan payments because they don't qualify for lower monthly payments under RAP, the new, RAP plan. $150,000 household, leftover income, $5,300 per year, or $440 per month. That's with no luxury spending, vacations, large savings contributions at all. And one unexpected expense, a car repair, a medical bill, surprise rent hike, can completely wipe out that cushion. If you compare that to the same family earning $90K, again, $60,000 less, about $7,600 per year, or $630 a month left over. They make more. They'd pay less in taxes and still receive ACA subsidies, reducing their premiums by several $1,000s. The end result, their spendable income might be the same or even higher by almost $200 a month. That's the benefit cliff in action, right? Doing better can leave you no better or even worse off. You'll have potentially more disposable income each month at $90K per year than $150,000 per year. This is nuts. The current system penalizes you from climbing up the corporate ladder. The combined impact of phase-outs and taxes can push a family's marginal effective tax rate, what they lose on each new dollar earned, above 50%. In other words, for every $1,000 in raises or side income, they might only keep $450 once all the lost benefits and taxes are factored in. It's not a moral failing or bad budgeting either. It's a structural mismatch between a tax code built decades ago and modern middle-class expenses that have ballooned far faster than inflation adjustments. The sad truth is, it takes a jump from about $80K annually to over $200,000 to even start feeling like you're getting ahead. Anything in the messy middle of $100 to $200K just wastes a lot of extra money on taxes and benefits that you've lost due to misaligned phase-outs. Here's how families are adapting, though. Maxing out pre-tax benefits, 401k, HSA, FSA, to lower your taxable income. Choosing lower-paying jobs with better benefits. That's crazy, I know, since take-home pay barely differs anyway. Relocating to lower-cost regions. Midwest is great, even if it means moving away from family or big city opportunities. Look, if the big city opportunity is not in the $500K plus range, don't even touch it. Starting side hustles, too, to gain some flexibility. We've been seeing a rise in interest in people looking at the best side hustle ideas, which is an article at the collegeinvestor.com. Brilliant article, lots of ideas there. But those are just coping mechanisms. They are not long-term solutions. Here's what needs to change. Policy. Across the political spectrum. And yes, some experts have suggested some reforms. Smoothing benefit cliffs so that subsidies phase out gradually, not all at once. Indexing tax credits and deduction limits to inflation so the middle class doesn't shrink by default, right? Fixing the broken Affordable Care Act subsidy and healthcare cost system so families can actually afford the care they need without earning up nearly 10% of their gross income. Isn't the word affordable in the name of the act? Am I right? Okay, and also expanding family and child care credits for working households caught in that 100 to 200K zone. Until that happens, the middle class is going to keep feeling squeezed from both ends, earning too much for help, but not enough for security. Very weird times. The bottom line, 6 figures no longer guarantees comfort in a whole lot of areas in the U.S. For many middle-income families, the problem isn't reckless spending or poor choices. It's just a system that chips away at every dollar earned through higher costs, complex tax rules, and disappearing benefits. Basically, social programs. The result is a paradoxical reality. The harder you climb, the steeper the fall feels. And that's why, for millions of Americans, 100K feels more like the new 50K. That is our show for today. I know maybe it felt a little depressing, but I hope it just kind of got your wheels spinning a little bit. If you're in this weird, messy middle, earning 100 to 200K and you're feeling the squeeze, we have ideas for you. Dive into this article. You can find the link to all of the side hustle ideas we have. Also, ask questions, get to know us at The College Investor. Search for those words, and you'll find us anywhere you are on social media. Thanks for stopping by today, and we'll talk to you again real soon.